Hello, good afternoon and happy new year, everyone. If you can see me and hear me clearly, please just drop in that message in the comments. Let me know. Oh, waiting, Katrina Deniji, good to have you here. Thank you so much for joining. Yeah, Kehinde is here, Miss D is here. Thank you. Thank you all for joining. Let's know where you're joining in from. Let's know what city, what county are you joining in from. And please do well to invite people, put it on your status, share it across all the groups you belong to. Finance is one important area that people need to listen to. People need to know how to manage their money. People need to know how to just live beyond wants and needs. So just let me know where you're joining. Manchester, Fumi, welcome aboard. Let's know, Catherine, Kehinde, let's know where you're joining in from. And please do well to share. We're starting right now, and I'd like to introduce my co-host, Lola Feintola, who will run us through PSP. Just know that this important webinar is organized by PSP, Parents Supporting Parents, and she's just going to do a quick run-through of what we do. Over to you, Lola.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are happy to have you here. So just quickly run through PSP, meaning Parents Supporting Parents in the UK, PSPI UK. So in terms of our vision, basically we empower Nigerian parents in the UK to thrive in a diverse society while raising wholesome families and fostering a sense of community. Our mission is to provide a supportive an inclusive environment where Nigerian parents in the UK can share experiences, access resources, and build a network that promotes mutual learning, holistic well-being for ourselves and families. Our values include respect, empathy, mutual support, education, advocacy, community engagement. So for us, basically, the webinars that we've done in the past includes how to care for your skin, which was done by Linda, demystifying the English education system by Onye. Also, we did safeguarding and childcare, which was done by Buchim, finding true self in the business of life, and also building a strong financial foundation in the UK. So that's basically to mention quite a few ones we've done in the past. And then for this year, this is the first webinar we are doing in 2025. We still have some interesting ones for the remaining part of the year. So how to transition to tech in 2025. You don't want to miss that. That will be coming up in February. And other activities that we also do in the PSP includes intercessory prayers, Good News Bible Club every Wednesday, monthly webinar, which is a typical one that we are having today, monthly prayer meeting as well. In case you're interested in joining us, we have a QR code, and we can also share the link where you can click on for you to join us. Thank you once again for joining us today.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the quick introduction, Lola. So she has told you a lot about PSP. Unless it's time to dig into today's activity. If you are ready, let me see that emoji. Let me see that fire emoji. Just say, I'm ready. If you have listened to our guest speaker before, you know that she's loaded. Let me put it that way. She's loaded. She's someone I respect so much. When it comes to the issue of personal finance, I doff my heart. I give it to her. So for those that have not met her before, let me just quickly run through her profile. Our guest speaker is Ayodeji Osideko. She's a seasoned investment banker and stockbroker with over 18 years of extensive experience in the financial services industry. With a strong academic foundation in economics and a level 4 diploma in investment advice and paraplanning from the Chartered Institute for Securities and Investment, Ayodeji brings unparalleled expertise and professionalism to our field. You can say that again. I can attest to that. As an authorized dealing clerk of the Nigerian Stock Exchange and an associate of both the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers Nigeria and the Chartered Institute for Securities and Investment UK. Can you feel that double honor? Ayodeji has demonstrated a consistent commitment to maintaining the highest standards of excellence and integrity in our practice. And throughout her illustrious career, Ayodeji has built a robust portfolio of expertise encompassing equity trading, treasury operations, portfolio management, stockbroking operations, credit card operations, Our vast knowledge and hands-on experience have positioned her as a trusted authority in navigating complex financial markets and delivering innovative investment solutions. I can attest to that. Currently, Ayodeji works with the Financial Difficulties and Credit Cards Division of a leading financial institution in the United Kingdom, where she applies her in-depth understanding of credit and financial operations to support clients in managing their financial challenges effectively. In addition to her professional practice, Ayodeji is a passionate, emphasis on passionate investment education consultant. I've not seen anyone as passionate on finance matters as our guest speaker. She's so passionate on investment education. She's dedicated to empowering individuals and organizations with the knowledge and tools required to make informed financial decisions. Her ability to demystify complex financial concepts and deliver actionable insights makes her a sought-after speaker and thought leader in the industry. Oh, I'm so excited reading this alone. Ayodeji's wealth of experience, coupled with her commitment to financial literacy and client success, underscores her reputation as a dynamic professional and an advocate for sound investment practices. Guys, drum rolls with all the energy you have, with all the fire emojis. Can you just make welcome our guest speaker for today, Ayodeji Osideko, aka Fred? You're
Thank
welcome,
you.
man. Thank you.
Thank
You have the
you.
floor,
Thank you.
man.
Thank you very much. It's such a delight to be here today. Hello, everyone. If you're here, you're live, you're not distracted with whatever you're doing, I want you to say hi in the comment section. I'm just checking out the section to see how many of us are live and are ready for today's session. All right. So I'm delighted to be with you guys today. Thank you once again. Special thanks to the convener as well as the leadership of this community. Kudos to you on all the amazing, amazing work you're doing. And I believe that indeed your reward is not going to be small. Thanks for all that you do to support people. I love this community initiative. And just to be clear, can you see me? Can you hear me clearly? Can everyone hear me? Can you see me? All right. So I believe everyone can see and hear me. I'm not able to get feedback at the moment. All right, amazing. Thank you, Fumilayo Awe, for the feedback. Right, so I was going to say that I love this community initiative. Awesome. I can see now. Thank you for the comments in the comment section. Apparently, I was looking elsewhere. All right, I see now. Thank you, loud and clear. All right, so I love the community initiative called Parents Supporting Parents in the United Kingdom. I believe that no one, absolutely no one, has an excuse to want to do life alone, not even in these climes that we are in, right? So you should be glad to be a part of a community where you have support and you are able to navigate this journey of relocation, of settling in a new community or in a new country with other people who are also believers like yourself, or who are people from your country or your previous country of residence. So it's nice to be here once again today. And it's important I also clearly state that I'm also like one of you, right? I only just relocated recently, 3 years and I think 5 years 3 years and 5 months counting. So for starters, let's get started. I should be getting to meet each and everyone on this platform as well. How long have you been in the United Kingdom? Like I said, I've been here only 3 years and 5 months. How long have you been here? I'm looking at the comment section, trying to see how long people have been in this country. All right, let's roll it in. 2 years, awesome. All right, so let's keep that coming in, and I'll just get straight to the core of our discussion today. I have 2 years as well, 2 years and 11 months, 2 years. Awesome, awesome. So today I've been asked to speak on the topic. Wow, Mrs. D, I've been here for 20 years. You're better. I have a lot to learn from you then. So I've been asked to speak today on financial freedom for families, having to balance your needs, your wants, your savings, and your investments. I love the introduction, and I thought we had a very short profile of mine, because I usually love to speak about what I do. I'm passionate about what I do. I love to speak about it. So yes, as you heard, my name is Ayodeji Osideko. I'm popularly known as Presh. Presh is from the name Precious, but Precious is not even one of my names given by my parents. So that's story for another day. I'm an investment banker with over 18 years financial market experience, spanning stockbroking, that's equity trading, treasury, derivatives, private portfolio, and all the likes. Of course, I'm a graduate of economics, and I put on my economics cap when I need to, when I'm speaking about personal finance, right? I'm also a dealing clerk of the Nigerian Stock Exchange, which meant that I was a stockbroker at some point. I'm an associate of CIS Nigeria and CISI UK. Now, this is very important for everyone on this call, which is the reason why I asked the initial question that how long have you been in this country? Now, I hold a level 4 diploma in investment advice and paraplanning from Chartered Institute of Securities and Investment in the United Kingdom. Recall that I said I'd only been here 3 years and 5 months for everyone on this call. Now, there is a quote that says that income seldom exceeds personal development. I repeat that again. Income seldom exceeds personal development. Recall I'd been here only 3 years and 5 months. So it implies that when I relocated into this country, I had over 15-year financial market experience. I know my what? I know my onions, right? But coming into a new climate, I needed to have an understanding of how things were done differently in the climate where I am. And so I had to get the required certification. And I'm glad I got that certification. So whoever is on this call, is important to know that when you join a new community, you move into a new country, you relocate into a new country, one of the things you must prioritize is personal and professional development. Right? One of the things you need to prioritize is personal development. Get that certification if you intend to stay, right? You intend to practice in that industry, then you've got to get certification, right? Get upskilled, try to enhance your competence so that you can play and compete in that industry appropriately. I currently work in the financial difficulties and credit card division of a multinational financial institution in the United Kingdom. And so within the course of that discussion today, I'm going to speak to you on how not to get into financial difficulties and how to ensure how to ensure responsible use of credit cards. Many of us are from Nigeria. Or more, I'm trying to remember how they say it in Yoruba, right? Most of us have not had access to use credit card, or did not have access of using or even getting a credit card while we're back in Nigeria. So when you get a credit card in these climes, you think it's free money. It's not free money. You will pay your money. So we're going to be talking about how not to get into financial difficulties and how to ensure responsible use of credit. I also consult for investment organizations on investment education, right? So today, recall that our discussion is going to be centered largely today on financial freedom for families. That's what we're going to be talking about extensively today. It's important that we even understand what the concept financial freedom stands for. What exactly does it mean? Because you can't benefit from something you don't even understand. or have a good grasp of. So financial freedom is a state where you have sufficient wealth and resources to cover your living expenses and lifestyle choices without having to rely on a traditional paycheck or active employment. If you need to screen grab this, get it down there. And in understanding the concept of financial freedom, there are two other concepts you need to understand. The first is active income, and the second is passive income. You cannot truly understand what financial freedom is unless you understand the concept of active and passive income. So I'm going to try to break it down. What is active income? Active income is the money you earn from your primary productive activity, like the job that you do, the business that you own, self-employed. That job that requires you to go to work 8 to 7 or 8 to 4, 9 to 5, that is your active income. The money, the job that requires a lot of your competence, your skill, your energy, your presence, your attention, that is your active income. For example, a doctor has to go to the clinic to treat patients to earn his living, his active income. Also, in the same manner, a teacher has to show up, whether physically in a school or in a tutorial center or even online to teach, has to teach for them to be able to earn that active income. So if it is a job that requires your active energy, time, energy, your resources of time, energy, attention, presence, that is your active income. Now, passive income refers to money that you don't have to actively work for. As the name implies, passive. It is money earned without your need for ongoing work. So you don't need to put a whole lot in this because you've set a process or a structure in place and the money is generating itself. Things such as dividends from your investment in equities or what we call shares. Things such as interest on your ISA account or your investment, your fixed income, your treasury bill, commercial papers, right? That is interest. That is passive income, rental income. You have a property, right, that you built, and then you have there the income. You are not doing a lot. That is rental income. That is passive income. Royalties from songs you've sung or from books, patents, copyright. Those are passive sources of income. So having established these two things, the first thing to say today, now we'll go back to the definition of financial freedom. Before you can have it, is important, expedient that you have a good understanding of what financial freedom in itself is. It's important to know that financial freedom is broad. So it's not even something we can conclude or we can trash out holistically in 2 hours, but we'll try. So we'll go back to the definition. It says that financial freedom. Remember, today we are talking about the topic financial freedom for families, and we are talking about balancing your needs, your wants, your savings, and your investments. So let's get back to our definition. It says that financial freedom is a state where you have sufficient wealth and resources. That is, you have sufficient savings and investment. The latter part of what we are talking about, right? Remember that our team is divided into 4 different concepts. It talks about needs, want, savings, and investment. So financial freedom is a state where you have sufficient wealth and resources. That is, you have sufficient savings and investment to cover your living expenses. Those are your needs. And your lifestyle choices, those are your wants, without having to rely on a traditional paycheck or active employment. If this breaks it down completely for you, or you have a better understanding of what financial freedom is based on our theme, I want you to drop it there. It's clear, or just put an emoji to let me know you're following. So financial freedom, like I said, is a broad concept. Financial freedom makes work an option. When you're financially free, it makes the need to go to work traditionally like we go, it makes it an option. Financial freedom means that you have generated sufficient income to cover your living expenses and your lifestyle choices. Financial freedom means that you have enough savings and investment to cover your needs and your wants. Simply put, that is what it is. And I have a simple quote in just a sentence that also further explains, right, drives on the point on what financial freedom or what it means to be financially free. The quote goes, it says, become so financially secure so that you forget it's payday. How many people on this call, right, can forget it's payday? I'm sure some of us are already counting down to next week. Some people are counting down to upper week. They know that day of the week where they get paid. In fact, for someone like me, I get paid on the 26th. So I know next week Friday is 24th and I'll get paid, right? You already factor in the weekend and you know when you get paid. But guess what? Financial freedom means that you get to the point, right? You become so financially secure that you forget it's payday. And those are the big boys and big girls, right? If you want to play in that league. And whilst I was compiling this, right, some of us, as we are looking forward towards payday, like they said, January, when you dirty December, your eyes get clear in January. Some of us have been counting down to January. But trust me, I was speaking with someone, I was like, wow. And the person was like, next week is 26. I'm like, okay. As in, I think January has been very fast. But I can imagine the number of people that felt January was slow. So again, becoming so financially secure that you forget it's payday. That is what financial freedom is all about. You've generated a lot in passive income, that your passive income, right? You've generated a lot in passive income, in dividends, interest, rental income, royalties, everything you've ever done. You've been able to stock up a lot, generate a lot in passive income, that those things can now fund your living expenses and your lifestyle choices. Yes, Fumilayo said, I will soon be there. Yes, we're going to play in that league. And guess what? There's an app we use in UK. It's called ADP. I don't know if many of you use it already. I like Augusta Obu. He says, I don't usually remember payday. Oh, interesting. You see, the big boys and girls are here. All right. So, there's an app called ADP where you can see the breakdown of your salary long before it's paid, I think like a week or thereabout. And so many people are looking and they are looking at it to see what exactly is it that will be paid, the commission, the bonuses, the breakdown, and of course, the tax that will be deducted every month. But you know what? I then came up, whilst I was preparing for this session, I saw a number of funny quotes about salary day. The first one goes, dear God, you can go ahead and destroy this world on any other day, but please, not on my salary day. How many of us have prayed this prayer? Right? How many of us have asked God to destroy the world on any other day but your salary day? Another one says, I am confident I love salary day more than Romeo loved Juliet. In it? Right. Awesome. Yes, Romeo loved Juliet, but guess what? I love my salary, and I'm confident that I love my salary more than Romeo loved Juliet. Another one says, oh, salary, I have waited for you for 1 month. Please don't leave in 1 hour. That's in your hands. If you've waited for salary for 1 month and in just 1 hour, it's all gone. But guess what? This is the reality of a lot of people. You wait a whole month. You wear winter jackets, 8 to 4. 9 to 5, you have gone in the cold to do that job. At the end of the day, you waited a whole 1 month to earn the salary. Then it leaves in just 1 hour. Because at the end of the day, it's all about transfer to this and that, direct debit, standing order, eating your account one after the other. And your salary cannot even last more than 1 hour. You need help. Another one says that payday is only the illusion of having money for a couple of hours. Then it's payday for everyone I owe money to. Really? Is payday really payday for you? Or is it payday for your creditors? Is it payday for your subscriptions? Is it payday for everyone that you owe? Is it actually your payday? And the last one which I have there says, I have lived long on this earth, long enough to conclude that the only time the average man is truly happy is during salary day. You see that happiness hormone, right? Just comes up in some people. You just be wondering, why is this person who is naturally not happy, excited, but it's salary period, right? But this should not be it shouldn't be our reality. It should be our experience, because when you become financially free, you have a better understanding. And that is where financially intelligent, that is the end game as far as their financial journey is concerned. You might not be there today, right? You might not be there today, but there's no pressure. Like I always say, personal finance is a personal concept. Family finance is a family concept. Your life circumstances are going to be different from mine. And so I'm not going to be in a hurry. I know what my journey is. I own my journey. I run my race at my own pace. I run my lane and I stay on my lane. And so I don't put myself under pressure. But I have a end goal where the desire or the desired goal is to get to a point where I achieve financial freedom. And we've established in summary that financial freedom means you become secure, so financially secure, you forget it's payday. We said financial freedom means a state where you have sufficient wealth and resources, that is savings and investment, to cover your living expenses, which is your needs, and your lifestyle choices, which are your wants. On a scale of 1 to 100, how well do you understand the concept financial freedom now? I'm looking at the chart. On a scale of 1 to 100, how well do you understand the concept of financial freedom? All right. So I saw a few years ago, I saw an article on Al Jazeera that says that 40% of Nigerians live below the poverty line. A whopping 82 million Nigerians live on less than $1 a day. So the $1 a day is used by World Bank as the threshold for identifying people that are extremely poor, which implies that there are two types of poverty. We have relative poverty and we have we have extreme poverty and we have relative poverty or absolute poverty. Extreme poverty is the type that was described in this article that says a whopping 40% of Nigerians live on less than $1 a day. And $1 a day, like I said, is World Bank's threshold for defining extreme poverty. But you know what? The number of people, or a lot more people who are not extremely poor, but they are still poor. We call that relative poverty. So in itself, poverty is defined as the state of lacking sufficient money to live at a standard that is considered comfortable or normal in a society. It's winter. Are you able to put on the electricity when you need to warm your house, or you have to be rationing it? Poverty, like I said, can be extreme, and poverty can also be relative. So today, I got statistics on poverty in the United Kingdom. Guess what? Extreme poverty in this country stands at 18%. Extreme, the number of people that are extremely poor in the United Kingdom stands at 18%, and it's continued to rise. At this time when we got the statistic, it says it marks the most significant rise in 30 years, which means things are depreciating by the day. A whopping 18% of the United Kingdom, or citizens of the United Kingdom, residents, actually is the word, residents of United Kingdom, are extremely poor. And it says 21% of UK population, which is 14 million people living in the United Kingdom, were relatively poor. Are you in this number? You might not be extremely poor because you earn more than $1 a day. which is the world standard and threshold. But are you still poor? Are you relatively poor? Are you able to meet your needs and your wants? Remember, that is the breakdown of our discourse, of our theme of today, talking about your needs, balancing your needs and your wants, your savings alongside your investments. Also, one of the statistics we got says that nearly 3 million people in the United Kingdom fell into financial difficulties last year, just last year, this last year that just left, this year that we just left, that 3 million people fell into financial difficulties last year. And I'll pause at this point. Remember when we started, I said I was going to be dwelling on two things: how not to get into financial difficulties and how to ensure responsible use of credit. The truth is that financial indiscipline and lack of proper financial planning is the reason for financial difficulties. When I'm at work and I'm listening to people, listening to clients based on their file cases, and I'm like, this person has you just have no reason, right, being around financial difficulties. How do we explain that someone has been made redundant in just 1 month, and you cannot meet your priority bills? That one, they are not doing you from home. It's you that you are doing yourself. So financial indiscipline and lack of financial planning is the principal, is the core, is the major reason why people fall into financial difficulties. And a saying goes that he that has no plan, how does he put it now? He that fails to plan has one intent. He has only one intent. He plans to fail. The last statistics is what I want to dwell on today, right? It says that children from Black and minority ethnic groups experience a poverty rate of 47% compared to 24% amongst white children. Imagine the huge gap, 47% compared to 24%. And you and I are the ones that will change this narrative. You and I are the ones that will buckle up our sleeves where our finances is concerned to change this narrative. And so it's time for you to get serious where your finances are concerned. This is the time where you must decide to change the narrative where your finances is concerned. If you're not going to do it for yourself, you're going to do it for your children. So you can't be caught slacking when your finances are concerned. You know, and if you understand my story before, permit me to share it so that when I'm talking and as I continue along this discourse, people know where I'm coming from. They know why I'm screaming, why I'm shouting, why I just want you to get it right, where your finance, your personal finance and your family finance is concerned. I'm from a family of 4 children. I'm the first child. I'm the only girl child, meaning I have 3 junior brothers. And growing up, my dad was a surveyor. And most part of his growing up life, of his career, most part of his career, he worked with Shell Petroleum. You will say I was a relatively comfortable child growing up. And yes, I was. My mom on the other end, was an educationist. So for family dynamics, the husband can be working far from home. My daddy will usually alternate between being offshore and onshore. Onshore means when he's gone to Warri in Delta State, I think it is now, in Delta State to work, and he works for weeks, then he comes home for maybe a week or so, and then he's back at work. And so my mom was an educationist. Every month, my dad would give monies to my mom to save for myself and my junior brothers. My mom would diligently make sure that the monies are saved. Now, my mom on the other end comes from a large, affluent, and closely knitted polygamous family. Because they are closely knitted, they all come together, they have regular meetings. Now, my immediate my own nuclear family, as my parents, my siblings, and I lived in a place called Ijebu-Ode in Ogun State. Now, my mom happens to come from Ijebu-Ode, so when our siblings come, now it's important I say that in her family, is a family of 30 children. And my mom was the last child. She was the baby of the house. So when her siblings come together for family harvest, they have family harvest once a year. I remember it was one Anglican church, and we will eat, and all the likes. They come for annual family harvest. They come for quarterly family meeting, right? They come for different functions, because Ijebu Ode means party, means there's always party. Our siblings will come around. Growing up, they will check on their baby sister. Then they will give us, their nieces and nephews, they will give us monetary, gifts, right? And so growing up, I was used to always having gifts from my uncles, my aunties. The momsy was saving for us. At the back of my mind, like, I was, as a little child, I just believed that I was going to grow up to be a very rich kid. Like, for where? I have money now. I remember even asking my mom, where is our money? And she was like, your money is in the bank. Hey, when you hear your money is in the bank as a child, and I'm sure that most of us hope we are not deceiving our kids, your money is in the bank. You feel you have one big money. And so, the frequency of receiving gifts then made me feel like, I'm going to grow up into a rich kid. But they play. It's not by money from gifts that people have saved for yourself. Fast forward to when I was 20, my middle junior brother was 18. I was studying economics. I was in university. My middle junior brother was studying medicine. We're both in the same university. Momsy decided to hand over the operations of our bank account to us. So we went with her, filled the forms. At the end of the day, they gave us a slip containing a balance. And in my mind, I was like, this can't be my balance, in my mind of mind. And I was disappointed that this is all that my parents had saved up over the number of years. I'm sure the money from my baby christening, the day I was named, was part of that money. That I trust my mom. She can save for you for Africa, right? But at the end of the day, over 20 years savings amounted to nothing. And on that day, I made two decisions. The first was that I was going to go all out to learn how to optimize resources, as optimize returns on my financial resources. And when if I know it's clear, everybody that will hear them. And that's why people are hearing it right now, right? I'm going to make sure I sound it to everyone. This is how to maximize returns on your financial resources. Don't waste it. God has given it to you. Make the most of it. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I found myself in this industry. That's why it seems like I'm shouting. No, I'm not shouting. When it comes to your personal and your family finances, right? The second decision I made was I was never going to save for my children. Your children have no use, right? They have no use of a savings account. Rather, invest their funds. I learned from my parents' example. And as at this time last year, I had children ages 16, 13, and 10, right? It wasn't 16, it was 15 plus. I could say that, oh no, none of my children have a savings account. Till today, two of them don't have a savings account. But guess what? The moment my first child turned 16 in September 2024, for us, it was part of being strategic to teach him about personal finance. We got him a customized direct debit, debit card, a customized card. We even put his name, King Mofe carries. We have done a lot, having money dates with him, giving him books to read and to present to us. We talk a whole lot about money, asset, liabilities. They read about personal finance. We discuss it a lot. We discuss money a lot in our home, right? They know clearly the difference between assets and liabilities. They watch things like Shark Tanks, and what's the name of the other one is kept my mind now. See, they understand business. My son is doing business, right? Business is one of his favorite courses, even though he's amazing. He wants to study engineering, but he loves business, right? He's doing it at GCSE level. His teachers are always like, this guy, when it comes to business, even in sciences. But you know what? And it's part of our financial strategy between 16 and 18, when he can individually, all by himself, solely open an account, a bank account, and begin to run it and get a credit card. Before then, let him use debit card to practice financial discipline. So this is strategic to teach him between 16 and 18 how to manage your finances. The child you don't train, or you don't instill financial discipline in, give him your wealth, it will make nothing of it. It will squander it. And I said that story not to gist you, not to bore you, not to even not for the passage of time, because I have 1 hour to speak, but to let you understand two concepts. The first concept is the concept of inflation. And the second concept is the concept of diversification. As a last week, I had a session and I asked, what is inflation in your country of residence? We had people from Canada, Nigeria, UK, and everybody was putting in the comment section on this platform. Let me ask you, what is the rate of inflation in the United Kingdom? I'm looking at the chat room now. Do you know what the rate of inflation is? Whilst you put it just within the course of this week, it changed. So as of last week, Saturday, it was 2.5, 2.6%, because that was the figure for November. And during the course of this week, Office of National Statistics released the figures for December. And so it dropped from 2.6% to 2.5%. Right. So inflation basically represents an increase and a decrease, right? Inflation represents an increase in the in general increase in the prices of goods and services. It also represents a decrease in your purchasing power. And I'll explain what that means. Inflation means that if you have 20 naira and the price of Indomie is 1 naira, you will be able to buy 20 pieces of Indomie. Inflation, therefore, means that when the price of Indomie moves from 1 naira to 5 naira, you could only buy 20 pieces prior to now. But because the price have increased, what you can buy has decreased. So it's an increase in prices, but a decrease in what your money can buy. That is what we call purchasing power of money. In these climes, inflation rate is low. During the course of the week, the inflation rate in Nigeria was released as well. I honestly can't remember what it is now, but I knew that it's actually climbed up further, climbing towards the 40% range. I think it's 36% or so. I said that to say that in some climes, inflation can be ridiculously high. In the climes where you live, where you and I live at the moment, where we reside, inflation rates are low. But guess what? The returns on your investments are ridiculously low as well. And so, financially intelligent individuals and financially intelligent families, they find a way around it. Remember that we said that inflation represents an increase and a decrease. Every time, and this is something you need to know, every time you invest your funds, remember you make your active income by going to work. You now earn money from active income. For you to convert your active income to passive income, you've got to have financial sense, right? And there's a saying that to whom financial sense is given, financial brain is given. To whom financial brain is given, financial sense is required. You have gone to earn active income. Consider yourself as an income converter. You're meant to convert a significant portion of your active income into passive income, so that in the years where you are not able to work, your passive income can take care of your needs and your wants. So how well are you dealing with those things? So to become financially intelligent means that anytime you invest your funds at a rate that is lower than inflation, you are like my parents, not optimizing your financial resources. And you can never achieve financial freedom. It's not cost, so it's not cost. It's just stating the obvious, that if you continue to invest your financial resources at a rate that is lower than inflation, you cannot achieve financial freedom that we're talking about. You can't. The second thing I want to talk about, remember I've talked about inflation. And so you must have the sense that whenever I want to invest, I should be looking to invest above inflation. Maybe not all your funds, but a significant part of your investable funds. The second thing is diversification. Diversification means not putting all your eggs in one basket. Diversification is a risk management strategy. But for us in this climate, diversification is also an investment management strategy, which implies that in these climes, rates cannot be 10%, 12%, 20%, except you're investing in LISA, Lifetime Individual Savings Account, that gives max 25%, and you must be less than 40. You must be using the money for retirement or to buy your first house, right? Except for that product, you cannot see anything around that. So how then do you play? It's important to know that diversification, which is a strategy you must adopt as someone living in these climes, as someone that is financially intelligent. Money loves mobility. Money loves to move. You can be in UK and your money is working for you in US. You can be in UK and your money is working for you in Nigeria. You can be in Nigeria and your money is working for you in UK and US. Money loves mobility. And financially intelligent individuals understand how to allocate funds across different geographies to attain financial freedom. You cannot on 2.3%, 2.4%. I'm sure everyone on this call, your bank must have sent you numerous messages telling you that rates are going to crash. Yes or yes? I got a lot of those last year. Say savings deposits are going to trace. You should change your product. Blah, blah, blah. You cannot continue to invest at 2.6% and attain financial freedom. There's a word called FPI, that is foreign portfolio investors. Guess where these people are? They are in climes like yours and mine. They're in United Kingdom, they're in US, they're in Germany. They are all over the world. They're in developed countries. But guess what? They move their funds, capital reversal, capital flows. They move their funds from developed countries to underdeveloped countries. In economics or investment, we call them frontier or emerging markets. They go to markets like Nigeria. They invest in markets like Egypt. They invest in Kenya. They invest in South Africa. They invest in those countries and pull their monies back. So if foreign portfolio investors are that smart, they invest in millions of dollars, billions of dollars. They invest in our stock markets. They invest in our treasury bills. So if foreign portfolio investors have that sense, then it means there's something important about diversifying your funds across geographies. And I know and respect the fact that there will be many other people who listen or are on this call who are not comfortable moving their funds to Nigeria. But you can invest in US markets. You can invest in markets other than where you live and earn something significant. But the truth is that in most of those markets that are developed like yours, the returns are minimal. So diversification is something you must be looking towards where financial freedom is concerned if you are in this country. I have a platform where we talk about investments and we churn out opportunities. I always like to use the example of Transcorp that we bought at about 3 naira rose to 19 naira. Fidelity that we bought at just IPO in July, 9 naira 75 kobo, rose as high as 17.50 or thereabouts as yesterday. A whooping 100%. Will exchange rates fall by 100%? Because I know the question on the back of your mind. For some people say, I cannot invest in Nigeria. You are still Nigeria, it's in your blood. So it's not all bad, all gloomy and dark. A part of your investment, of your investable funds, must be so that you must be able to take risk with, even if the rate crashes. Right? Even if rate crashes, your investments should be so that you can earn above that rate of crash in the exchange rates. Treasury bill in Nigeria currently is doing, at some point it was 30%, but by the time everybody bombarded, moved to about 25-20. I still got a 27% 2-3 weeks ago. So I said that to put that out there. And a few more things I'll say before we round off on this call. The first is that your finance today is the state it is because of the level of attention and the level of investment you have committed to it. If you want to write that down, write it down. Because we need to get back to the basics and speak to ourselves on what exactly is the reason why we are not able, or we've not been able to amass as much where our investment and our finances is concerned. A quote goes that if you don't get serious with money, you will never have serious money. By this quote, it implies that those who build wealth are people who are serious with money. And being serious with money includes being aware of the financial opportunities, includes being financially disciplined, includes delayed gratification, knowing the difference between your needs and your wants, knowing the difference between assets and liabilities, includes being responsible with the use of credit, even though you live in the Obodo Imbo. The second thing is that regardless of where you are with respect to your finances, you can initiate a change. So today, you are nowhere close to financial freedom. Today, financial discipline, zero. You can decide that I'm going to make changes today. A saying goes that yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That is why it's called present. Yes, you have the opportunity to make changes. Make changes. That's why it's a gift. It gives you the opportunity to make things right. A saying goes that whenever a person wakes up, that is their money. Hit yourself today and say, I'm waking up where my finances are concerned. But guess what? I believe in that quote, but I have an issue with one of those. It says yesterday is history, I believe. It says today is a gift. That is why it's called present. Opportunities to make amends where my finances are concerned. But guess what? Tomorrow is not a mystery. On the contrary, tomorrow is predictable. Tomorrow you will reap the financial consequences of your financial decisions that you have made today. Tomorrow is just your report card. Success is predictable. So also is failure. So today you will choose what you want your financial outcome to be at the end of this year. You will choose today whether you're going to make those changes to achieve your financial freedom, which you want to see 5 years from now, 3 years from now. Today is the day to make that decision. The third point, based on 1 and 2 above, is that you are your money problem. And guess what? You are also the solution to your money problems. If you can put it out there, I am the problem to my money. I'm also the solution to my money problems. My next point is I try to bring this towards speaking about the core of our discussion today, is that where your finance is concerned, intentionality is the rule of the game. And I said a quote mistakenly last week and it stuck with me, is that you cannot mistakenly make money. Nobody does. You cannot erroneously make money. Intentionality is the rule of the game where achieving financial freedom is concerned. Nobody mistakenly makes money. If you mistakenly make it, you will mistakenly lose it. Intentionality, being deliberate, is important, is critical, is a major component on your journey to financial freedom. We all have a priority matrix. I'm sure if you've done an MBA before or been in a business class before, you'll understand the concept of matrix, where we put things that are urgent and important, things that are urgent, not important. We all consciously or unconsciously have a personal priority matrix that determines the things you consider important and the things that are not important. If something is important to you, you know how to go above and beyond to make it work. We know. You know how to make it work. But we only give excuses for the things that are unimportant to us. And the truth of the matter is you cannot make excuses and have results at the same time. So where your finances is concerned, where being financially free is concerned, you can't be making excuses and expect to get results. No, you will choose one. Scripture says in Ecclesiastes 11 and verse 3, it says, where a tree falls, that is where it will fall. That is where it will be. If a tree falls to the north or to the south, in the place where it falls, that is where it will be. He says, if the cloud are full of is it full of rain or something? If the clouds are full, it will eventually rain. It implies that nothing happens by default. We make things happen. So on this journey of attaining financial freedom, it's not going to land on your laps. You are going to have to take actions to make it happen. A saying goes that where there's a will, there's a way. So intentionality is the rule of the game. If the clouds are full, they empty themselves. Thank you. The second thing I want to say is that in life, every game has rules. If you play by the rules of the game, you will win. If you choose to ditch the rules of the game, you will lose, and you will lose big time. You cannot play chess with the rules of Monopoly or play snake and ladder with the rules of Ludo. No. The game of wealth building has rules. Those rules include being aware of inflation rates and playing smartly. It's not just about working hard, about working smartly, earning your active income, and making sure a significant part of your active income is being applied or converted to passive income. So that you continue to develop that income to sustain your lifestyle and accommodate your needs in the future. And that was why when we started, I wanted to make sure you had a good understanding of the word, the concept financial freedom, active and passive income. The other thing I want us to know, as far as the rules of the game is concerned, you've got to have understanding of things like exchange rate, things like inflation, things like interest rates, emergency funds, difference between assets and liabilities, a whole lot of things that we cannot possibly finish here. The next thing to know is that investment opportunities are not open-ended. And as a result, when there's an investment opportunity, you must take advantage of that opportunity within the life of the opportunity. So there are times where things happen in the country you're living or even outside, and you are able to discern the opportunities to make money. Truthfully is that investment is not limited to buying and selling financial assets alone. Investment also includes anything that you can buy low and sell high. So I don't mind, I don't care whether you're buying whatever and selling it you're buying it in Bristol because it's lower, you are shipping it to Coventry because it's higher and you can make a spread. I don't care what you are investing in as long as it's legal. But investment opportunities are usually not open-ended. For example, I said treasury bills in Nigeria as high as 30%. It's moved to 27% now, right? It's not going to be like this. There was a time treasury bill rates were 12%. Right? But you must learn to take advantage of investment opportunities within the life of that opportunity. The next thing is that the math of wealth building is not rocket science. It is simple if you decide that you're going to be taking the steps where your finances are concerned. There's a popular quote, as is my all-time favorite personal finance quote, and it's that personal finance is 80% lifestyle and behavioral adjustment, and only 20% knowledge. This implies that it's not so much of how much you know about financial matters that matters. It is what you are doing. We have an academy with 52 weekly tasks, and you read 4 books, just 1 chapter a week, not stressful. Those who do it, we could see the difference last year. Those who were giving excuses, like I said, excuses and results, they don't go together. They are not mutually, what do we call them now? Where are the English people in the class? They don't go together, right? You will choose whether it's financial excuses you want to get this year or financial results. But you will see those things in the things you do daily, because personal finance is 80% lifestyle and behavioral adjustment and only 20% knowledge. So this takes me to my next slide. Because I'm a person of faith, I'm going to talk scripture, right? The first thing is that you must have a desire to prosper. Let's talk to ourselves. We are gathered here together. We are Nigerians. It's important that we have a desire. Some people have no desire regarding any area of life. Parenting, anyhow. Their marriage, anyhow. Health, anyhow. Everything, anyhow. Finances, anyhow. Career, they have no plan, no aspiration to prosper or to excel in any area of life. They are so casual. And the truth is that God is not glorified by your not enough, just getting by. How is that one giving glory to God now? You say, God, though, this is the life that God has created, and that life is reflecting his glory. No, God is not glorified by your not enough, neither is he glorified by your just enough, just getting by. He's glorified by you living a life of abundance that reflects what Jesus died for. Right? Because when he died as you. He died for you. When he rose, he resurrected. He gave you everything. He says it is finished. You just be enjoying life. And the truth is that there's something, he has done the work. It's just for you to have an understanding and do that which you need to do. Scripture says in 3 John 2, it says, I wish above all things that you may prosper and be in health even as your soul prospers. And 2 Corinthians 8:9 says, knowing the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, it says that for even though he was rich, for our sakes he became poor, that we through his poverty might become rich. You must have a desire to want to prosper. Even if you don't want it for yourself, it's okay. See these statistics I showed you before, right? That children from Black and minority ethnic groups experience 47% of poverty compared to 24. Do it for your children. Do it for the other children, your children's children, so they will say, Grandma did this, Grandpa did this. There are the additional reasons why you need to get serious with your finances. And the truth is that it takes setting a goal to score one. My children are all in football academies, right? And they play for their school. It takes setting a goal to score one. No goal, you do nothing, you have nothing. That's how the financial world is. You snooze, you lose. It's not going to fall on your laps, like we say. You cannot mistakenly make money. Have a desire. And these desires are seen in your financial goals. Do you have financial goals that you're working at? Right? Do you? Short term, long term, where are we going to be as a family 5 years from now, 3 years from now? That child of yours that is 10 years, before you open your eyes and close it, he's in university. Do you know how much you're going to be earning? You're going to be paying, even if your child is going to do apprenticeship. So you can't afford to slack. If you want to slack just for yourself, just think about your children. Think about your grandchildren. It takes setting a goal to score one. What are your family financial goals? That's how we know that you are serious with money. That's how you know that you're attempting to walk this part of financial freedom. Not anyhowness. Not being casual with your finances. Where is our family going to be in 1 year financially? 5 years, 3 years? The second thing is that money is a reward. Like I said, I got a lot of gifts growing up, but who that one help? Is that one helping my life or paying my bills in the United Kingdom? No. Money is essentially defined, I'm sure everybody here did Economics 101, as a reward. Money is a medium of exchange. What are you exchanging for it? What are you exchanging? What service, what goods are you giving? And guess what? A saying goes that you'll be rewarded for 3 things. What you do, how well you do it, and the difficulty of replacing you. They said it's not possible to be irreplaceable. Even in this United Kingdom, I beg to differ. We've been there. So what are you offering? How well are you offering it? What is the difficulty of replacing you in that industry where you work? Because you can choose to be indispensable. Mediocrity does not sell anymore. No, it doesn't sell. Organizations do not, they want to guard or hedge against key man risk. She's the only one that can do it. Oh, he's the only one that can do it. You can make yourself indispensable. I've done it before. I work in an organization when I came in, I was like, oh, my husband is a global person. He's always walking around. He's in Dubai. He's there. Can I, for being able to take my children to school? They both say no. I found a way around it. I'll use my break to quickly. I'll drop my children in the morning. I'll bring them back. I'll use my whole break is just to go and pick kids in school, bring them back home, get back to work. It was stressful. My brain was, when you both say you are going to work, I'm sure I can use all this. Our pidgin is our own, right? When you both say you are going to work for 8 hours, when you are done 8 hours, it's not Nigerian 8 hours. You will know that they are beating part of your blood. And then after 1 year, I said, you know what? I'm not going to die. I don't want this job again. At least I have something else by the side. Let me be doing that one and look for another job. And they said, no, you cannot leave. And I was like, you said that we cannot, as I have to prioritize. Family matters to me. And we're like, give us your terms. I said, yo, sure, like we say. And they said, I can work only Tuesday to Thursday, 3 days. And I only work 9:30 to 3 because when I drop my children 8:40, I'll get home like to 9. to 9 to 9:30, I'll balance. If I want to take coffee, do anything, then I'll log in. 9:30, I work. 3 o'clock, I close so that I can pick my children by 3:20. And they say, yes, we agree, we agree. So who says you cannot be indispensable? Remember when we started? Because everything that I'm saying, every word, every phrase, every sentence has a reason. So when I was taken at the initial stage to say I had to take a certification, hundreds of thousands, not hundreds, thousands of pounds, just to understand how to work in my industry, just not to say I have 15 years financial market experience from Nigeria, show, and you want to bring that one here. God help you. You can be indispensable. It's not by skin. Just yesterday, if you see things that my TMs, I've never set feet in the office before. If you see things TMs are saying about me, they're asking me to do things for them. And so I told them, I can work Tuesday to Thursday. Guess what? When Nigeria showed me Pepe on my consulting stuff, I quickly added Friday. So now I do only Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 9:30 to 3. That's what I can do. I have other areas of my life. I'm not going to do this job and this job alone. I said that to say that you can be indispensable. It's not by the call. Don't be harassed. Don't be intimidated by the color of the skin. Go there, do your work. Income seldom exceeds personal development, right? Means that professional personal development, put in the work. When you get there, stand out. They will not be able to resist you. And then you get your funds at the end of the day. So I said that, what are you offering? How well are you offering it? How difficult is it to replace you? The third thing is that you must invest in yourself. 1 Thessalonians 5:23 says, man is a spirit, it has a soul, it dwells in a body. That spirit one, if I sit down, that one will not live here. Don't worry, I'm also a minister, right? So I will put this one there just to say, is in Jeremiah 33 verse 3. It's my all-time best scripture. It says, call unto me. That's God talking. Call unto me and I will answer you. It says, and I will show you great and mighty things that you cannot figure out on your own. Gather here if you are a parent supporting parents in the United Kingdom. This one, top secrets. Your work with God would impact every other area of life. Faith, family, finance, fitness, every area of life. So you've got to be, it's a critical part of your living. There are things your logic, your mind cannot figure out. At times, I live just one day. I cannot even afford to think about 2 days before now. At times, I have goals. But when it talks about the day-to-day, how everything will plan out, if I think about it, my head will just burst. But there's a power I leverage on. It says, call unto me and I will answer you. I will show you great and mighty things you cannot figure out. Those things include things it will tell you, ideas it will tell you on how to navigate work. Then nobody can resist it. Insider information, trade secrets in that business, in that side gig, right? Information on ideas you can introduce. I'll just tell my boss and I'm like, oh, I think this. And he says, oh, I'm going to give you time. Please put it in a PowerPoint presentation. Come and present it to management. You're presenting to management. You've worked in an organization for 2 years, remote, fully remote. They will not know you. They will know you. So your work with God impacts every other area of life. Don't be like Jesus' parent, like I used to say. Traveled with him for at age of 12, right? If they traveled with Jesus at the age of 12 for a festival, they were going home 3 days waka. They did not realize 3 days is how many hours now? 24 times 3. Mathematicians on the platform, help me add it together. And they went 3 days journey. They had to come back. Every time you go, be going on that journey without Jesus, be going on that parenting journey, that marriage parent journey without Jesus, that career journey, health journey without Jesus, it will do you like movie. You will come back 3 days. You can only go so far without Jesus. You can only go so far without him. You will come back that 3 days. You can imagine you've gone 3 days forward. You now come back 3 days backwards, 6 days. Please now multiply 72 times 3. That's the amount of time they wasted. 3 days forward, 3 days backward. They now came to pick Jesus. They could not get to their destination. You cannot get to your destination without Jesus. You can't. whether it's financially, career-wise, is the one that introduces that ease. It gives you the leverage. It will just at times give you an idea and be like, wow. And I walk there wondering that, who is this girl? Like, who is this girl? So I said that to say, if you have any limiting belief because you think you are in one country, there's what is inside this country? What? Is our country not better? Go and see dirty December. If I post the figures for you, you will faint. The number of people that have traveled and landed in Murtala Mohammed airport, 500 and something. If you see the figures, hotels were fully booked. If you want me, I'm going to send the details to you. You're telling me you have left Nigeria. Do you know there's a reason God made you even start your journey from Nigeria? There's money to be made in Nigeria. That you are in the Igbo does not mean that you should not be wise where your finances is concerned. Do you know how people who have hotels there, people who different industries made massive money? Go and check. Just put it, Google it. Dirty December revenue for countries. Amazing. You are sitting down there doing 2% in ISA. Well done. Financial freedom has entered. It is here. It's already in your account. You have just not loaded it. Yes. And so people are leveraging. People are thinking. Some people are thinking, oh, I can actually put money in this and then go. Caterers, do you know how much? You have a friend who caters for a hotel. Dirty December, Nigeria is coming. 2025. People are taking position. People are opening more hotels. Do you know how much Uber made? Caterers, beer company, drink companies, right? People that had different businesses, places where children can go play. People made money. You are sitting down here, any 1%, and you are looking for financial freedom. You have arrived. So we're talking about spirit. You can only go so far without God, but He will give you some ideas when He downloads it in your spirit. Is a leverage you don't even want to do without. The second one is your soul. Your soul is your seat of your will, your intellect, and your emotions. Today, I'm not shouting. And people know me, know that I'm not shouting today. I'm just taking things slowly. Right? Your soul is the seat of your will, your intellect, and your emotions. See, you cannot afford to be a mediocre. He's not selling anymore. A saying goes that excellence today's excellence becomes tomorrow's mediocrity. So that thing you think you know, tomorrow it has become outdated. You must constantly be evolving. There are no arrival points where your life is concerned. And I always say it. I always pray. I don't want to be the same person. July 16 this year, my birthday, I will do appraisal. Am I the same mother as last year? Am I the same wife as last year? The same sister as last year? The same sister-in-law as last year? The same parent and daughter to my parents? The same kind of minister? The same kinds of personal finance coach as last year? The same kind of employer as I cannot be. You are meant to be. You are a human being. Continue to be. Continue to evolve. A saying goes that prosperity is not what you pursue. You don't pursue prosperity. No. Sit down. Rest. It is in rest that things come to you. But you will do your part. It says prosperity is not what you pursue. It is what you attract. It's an attraction as a result of who you have become. If I ask you today, as a career person or as a business person, are you still the same person as last year? Have you upskilled? Is there anything that has improved about you? When we are greeting you happy birthday, you should be crying if you have not achieved anything significant with your career, with your business, with any area of life. You have not improved. And this is the time we said today is called present. Today is called, today is a gift. That's why it's called present. Go and take that course. Go and upskill. Go and take that certification. Whatever you do, don't be the same kind of person. I told people that I've been helping people make, manage, and multiply money. Now I'm starting a course to help people protect their money. Trying to do cybersecurity. I've entered my boss. They are looking for opportunities for me to be able to do, go into that field when I'm done with what I'm doing. So continue to upskill. Go. The truth that is that success is not stand alone. It's tied to what you do, what you are exchanging. And the truth is that what you're exchanging, you don't just leave it casually. You must make sure that you're thinking consistently about it. In my family, we have a budget for personal and professional development. If you like, use your budget. You know how they will set budget for you in the office? You will choose not to use it. That's how some people are. In my family, you have the budget. If you like, use it. If you like, don't use it. No problem. The budget is there for personal development, for professional development. Do you have a family budget for that? So take that course, take that certification, upskill, whatever you do. Don't be the kind of professional you are in 2025 like you were in 2024. The truth is that you must go for you to excel and to continue to be relevant. Sit down today. In fact, you are in this session. Just close your eyes and travel 10 years from now. In that career, is it education? Is it health? Whatever it is, travel in your mind 10 years from now. After today's session, go and do a research. What do I need to be the best? Or what is the future of business analytics? What's the future of data analytics? What is the future of cybersecurity? What is the future of this? 10 years from now, what will be the demand in my industry? You know, you have traveled 10 years. Then after that, you have thought about it. You've researched. Come back into the present. Let your body come back and soul to meet your soul into your body. Then now begin to highlight those things you need to do, the competence you need to build. Begin to plan financially to go for those training, those courses. 10 years will come, 5 years will come. Those who did not prepare when you were preparing, like the wise and the wise virgins and the foolish virgins, those who prepared, they met the master, they were rewarded, they went into the glorious place and the door was locked. I said that to say that you must, to stay relevant in the workplace of the future. Remember, we live in a VUCA world, highly volatile world where things are changing by the day. In the United Kingdom, I work with customers in financial difficulties. You just say, I'm redundant, made redundant, redundant. If they make you redundant, you have enough passive income to show them that what? But you can't even be made redundant because you know your onions. You've gone to prepare yourself. You are ready. You will be relevant because you have those skills. And what is the use of a large portfolio, financial portfolio without a healthy body? If you're in the United Kingdom, take care of yourself. Go for your eye test. Go for your dental care. For some of us, our organizations will pay for it. Even me, I did not know until a while. The way I use that thing now, it's called Health Shield. You go for dental care, eye care, your general, what's it called now? General test. Once you are above 40, even 37, it's in your 20s, 30s, you prepare for life in the 40s, right? Take care of yourself. The weather is not for our kind of skin. You will hear there's no solar here. So if you do your vitamin D level, so many of us might be deficient. Are you using your supplements? Are you taking lots of vegetables, greens, water, taking brisk walking remotely from home? You can get an ergonomic chair, which helps your spine, so that you won't be 40 and you are looking 100. Even me, I'm amazed about what I just said now. Take care of your body. There are a lot of replacements for Maggi. Vitamin D does not help your skin because there is melanin or whatever. My doctor told me when I went for iron and vitamin D test, I push yourself there. Tell them you need to do your test, do your general test. Have you not paid for NHS? They collect your money, you are not collecting their service. That's what we are talking about. To which sense is given, brain is given, sense is expected. Go for your annual check-up, especially when you are over 40. Sleep well. That sleep well. I'm sure some people can hold me to it because 2 a.m. I say, boy, I wake up 7:30 thereabouts. Yes, because I have older kids that can get themselves ready for school, and in 20 minutes I can drop off, and very soon I'm stopping school runs by July, by the special grace of God. Help me thank God. But that is on a side note. That's actually on a lighter note. That's what they call it, right? Health is wealth, and wealth is also health. So all of these things go together. You're using Maggi, reduce it or even completely eliminate it. I've eliminated it 5-6 years ago, and there are lots of replacements. If I make jollof rice for you, you will not know there's no Maggi. Right? Take care of yourself so that when you have built your portfolio and you're now financially free and it's time to sit back and relax and enjoy your money, the health will now not say it's time to pack up and go and meet Abba Father. So dare to prosper. Money is a reward. Take care of it. Invest in yourself, spirit, soul, and body. And the last thing is seek professional advice. The reason you are investing your hard-earned money is not to lose it. Some of us, ojukokoro, aggressiveness. They are promising you return. That seems, how do they always say that? That seems out of the, if it's too good to be true, it is too good to be true. But your Atinuke, please help me with ojukokoro. Help me. The English has left me. I say I'm Niger. I'm sorry for all the British on this call. I'm so sorry. Right. I'm sorry, but I need to know what the meaning of the ojukokoro is. Your pride, why did this word leave me like this? Anyways, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, someone is asking, what am I using in replacement? I can snap and send it to you. All those condiments is still in Asda and Aldi. Your turmeric, your garlic. You can even use normal garlic. My stock meat. So when I make meat, the stock, I use it a whole lot. Greed. Oh, my brother is here. Mr. Shegun Bodori, I see you. He said greed. Yes, greed. That's what it's called. So we talk about all those other things that you can use in place of Maggi. This is not health class, sorry, right? And so I said all of those to say spirit, soul, and body, you've got to take care of those things. And the reason why you're investing, or the reason why you're investing your hard-earned funds is not to lose them, right? If you want to invest in stocks, seek the advice of stockbrokers and the best of them. You want to invest in properties, seek the advice of real estate professionals and the very best of them. Ego, ojukokoro, covetousness, greed. Thank you, guys, right? And the truth is that whatever you want to invest in, this is the part that you should listen to. You must have at least basic knowledge. There are 3 types of knowledge. One is basic, the other is intermediate, and the one is expert knowledge. We are not asking you to be a stockbroker, expert knowledge. You don't even need intermediate knowledge. If you can, fine. But at least basic knowledge. Understand what you want to invest in. Some of us are investing in cryptocurrencies. We have no business being in crypto. You don't even understand how the dynamics or how those things work. Where a man's treasure is, that's where his heart will be. So you should have whatever you want to invest in. Basic knowledge at the minimum. Personal finance is defined as financial management that you perform to budget, save, spend, invest, and protect your funds. It's about all of those 4 things, and you must take into consideration your own financial risk and your future life events. Your life events as an individual would differ from someone else's. And the truth is that personal finance is a personal concept. Family finance is a personal concept, right? Don't put yourself under pressure. Have goals, but then run the race at your pace alone. Don't be under pressure because you want to perform. Whatever you do with funds, I'm trying to quickly now go through this so that we can answer questions, right? Whatever you want to do with money can be classified under 3 motives. Transaction motive, which talks about the things that will put you under pressure if you do not have them. Your groceries, food, clothing, shelter, comes under transaction motive. So when you're setting your budget, include these things, right? That is where you talk about your needs, the things that you need based on our theme. The second is precautionary motive, things that you did not envisage will happen, unforeseen eventualities, emergency, the need to change the tire of your car, the need to emergencies which happens in real life, and speculative motive talking about holding money for investing purpose. Scripture says that it gives bread to the eater, it gives seed to the sower. A part of all you earn is yours to keep. So it means that whatever you do with money, when you're budgeting, budget along these 3 lines. A saying goes that, remember at the beginning, we said that financial difficulties is only caused by 2 things: financial indiscipline, and lack of proper financial planning are the reasons why people end up in financial difficulties. There are things the rich do that they know and do that the poor either they don't know or they know it, but they cannot apply themselves to do. Remember also that we said that personal finance is 80% lifestyle adjustment and only 20% of knowledge. It doesn't matter what you know about money. It is what you're doing consistently, those financial actions and decisions that matters at the end of the day. So, what is a budget? A budget is simply the statement of your income and expenses. We have an academy next week, Saturday. We are going to be having practical webinar session. You will pass your own budget. No country, no company starts budgeting or start spending without passing their budget. Do you have a family budget? Do you have a personal budget? These are the things that shows you are serious with your funds. Remember, we said that to make serious money, you've got to be serious with money, right? So a budget is simply the statement of your income and expenses. If in countries and companies of the world prioritize this financial management tool, as simple as it is, there's something important about it. Your budget is your financial plan. He that fails to plan has one thing, 10 plans to fail. If you earn £5,000 every month or 1 million naira every month, whatever you earn, if you don't put pen to paper and you just keep spending, to a large extent, you will be stuck before the end of the month. So you know that in government, you need the executive to come up with the budget, and then the legislative part of the government will then pass it. You are your own legislative, judiciary, executive arm of government. Never start spending until you have passed your budget. Start it this year. There are many templates. If you like, use the Excel part. I don't care. There are many budgeting tools. There are many budgeting rules out there. There's a 50, 30, 20. We can't talk about all of them. Whatever you do, have a budget. The second is savings. There's a book we're reviewing in the academy that I belong to, and I love that book. That is one of the books I read every year. It's called The Richest Man in Babylon. I said this to say that I picked 2 quotes from that book. It says that a part of all you earn is yours to keep. A part of all that you earn is yours to keep. So you must pay yourself first. And I said last week, one thing I love to say is that what you pay yourself is that value you put on yourself. Remember the quotes we went through, those funny quotes. I didn't put it there because I'm, of course, not a comedian. It says, oh, salary, I have waited for you for 1 month. Please don't leave in 1 hour. Right? The truth is that lies in your hands. Is your salary incubant? Is your income incubant? A part of all you earn is yours to keep. After you paid the grocer, you paid the clothier, you paid everybody, hairdresser, everybody else. What value or what do you place on yourself? Some of us have no self-worth. And that's the reason it impacts on how you manage your finances as well. And the truth is that your saving today will save you in the future. In savings, you also need to know about the concept of emergency fund. That is one thing you cannot graduate from our academy without knowing. An emergency fund represents 3 to 6 months. Now, we have defined it as 6 to 12 months of your living expenses. 6 to 12 months of your living expenses should at least be in your emergency fund. Something that you have as a reserve in case something happens. You see, when we say that the financial world, every game has rules. You play by the rules, you win. You choose to ditch the rules of the game, you will lose, and you will lose big time. One of the rules of the game is to have an emergency fund. It shows you are financially intelligent. When life happens, it meets you prepared. Next on, I move to investments. Investing is simply the science of multiplying your financial resources. I don't care whether you're buying a lubo from Ibadan and you're selling it in Lagos. I don't care whether you're buying clothes from Aba and you are shipping it to the United Kingdom. It doesn't have to do with financial assets alone. The science of multiplying your funds. Now, it is also the science of converting your active income into passive income, like we defined at the beginning of this session. In the parable of the talent, the man that had two that hid it, 2 talents. Was it the one, 5, 2, and 1 that had one that hid it? The master said that is the least you can do with your funds. Savings is always the least you can do with your funds. And like we said, at the end of the day, it amounts to nothing. Like I told you in the story of my parents and what they did with their funds growing up. In investing, you need to know about the concept of compounding. Compounding is defined as the 8th wonder of the world. Those who understand it earn it. Those who don't, they pay it. And that is why you buy a house of 350. We own our house. We are moving to our house in the United Kingdom. You have taken mortgage, £350. You want to pay over 30 years. You will pay interest. You pay dearly for it. At the end of 25, 30 years, you would have paid like 900,000 for a house of 350. But we navigate it. We make sure that house of £350, £350,000, we can pay it down in 5 years. It's called financial intelligence. Whatever you want to invest in can be categorized into fixed income and variable income asset classes. And we'll talk about that just before I round off. It's important also that you get minimum basic knowledge. Remember, I said basic, intermediate, expert knowledge are the 3 kinds of knowledge. At least have basic knowledge. The other thing you want to know about investing is that your risk appetite is important. How much money can you afford to lose? If, for example, one individual has £10,000 and another person has only £2,000, the person that has £2,000, that's all he has. The person that has £10,000, he still has other investments in this and that. You cannot be investing in the same kind of risky investments. Right? So you are either risk averse, which means you cannot afford to take risk, or you belong to what we call moderate risk, or you are a risk taker. You love risk. You can afford. Your risk tolerance level is important where investing is concerned. And the next thing I'll talk about is consistency. The rich don't just budget, save, and invest. They budget consistently, save consistently, and they invest consistently. Consistency is the rule of the game. Right? You can imagine at the beginning of last year when we asked people to open an ISA account, for example, or open an investment account and determine how much you're going to be crediting to the account. If you are put in just £100 every month, let's even say £50 every month, at the end of the year, you have £600. A whooping like they life. I love that word. A whooping £50 every month at the end of the year, £600 plus interests. But someone else will still not do it and say, I don't have £50, so excuse and results. You will choose one, whether you're giving financial excuse or you're giving financial results. Whatever you want to invest in, and this is my second to the last slide, not to worry, it's the second to the last one, that I promise. Fixed rate income and variable income explains whatever you are investing your funds in. For starters, you cannot achieve financial freedom investing only in fixed income. You got to diversify, like we spoke about earlier in the call. For fixed income investment, the returns are known from inception. It's 10% on this fixed income. It's 10% on your treasury bill, which implies if you invest 1 million naira, you're getting 100. We're getting on 1 million naira plus 100,000 naira. If you invest £1,000, you're getting £1,000 plus £100. Fixed, it's as the name implies. The returns are fixed. The returns are known from inception. Your capital is guaranteed. That £1,000 or 1 million naira that you invested cannot reduce. It cannot. Examples of fixed income include treasury bill, commercial papers, money market mutual funds, and all the likes. Variable income asset classes refers to the investment that the value depends on prices, and the prices depend on the forces of demand and supply. Right? So, for example, we have stocks, we have real estate, you have cryptocurrencies, and all the likes that the returns are not fixed. Your returns are not fixed. Your returns are not guaranteed. Your capital is not guaranteed. You can invest 1 million or 1,000 pounds and it can reduce below that. Many people see the upside rather than just the downside in this investment. And the truth is that if you do your research, you can actually make good picks with variable income asset classes. That's why you need to be speaking with professionals if you're investing in any kind of variable asset class. The value of those investments depends on the forces of demand and supply. For example, if 2 weeks ago, it was in the news in Nigeria that the telecoms in Nigeria were going to be increasing the tariff by 100%. As at then, the prices of MTN, for example, that was listed, Globalcom is not listed. MTN and Airtel are listed. The price of MTN was 200 naira at the beginning of that week. By the end of that week, it was 242. It was 242 naira, which meant that in 1 week, you would have made a whooping 20% in 1 week. You can imagine if you annualize that on that investment. And that's why everyone needs a mix of fixed and variable income asset classes in their portfolio. The rule of thumb where portfolio diversification is concerned, how much should I put in fixed income? How much should I put in variable income? Number one, have an emergency fund. Meaning for your family or your individual self, you have 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. Whatever you now have to invest, 100 minus your age. So if I'm 40 years old, 100 minus 40 is 60. 60% of my funds should be invested in variable income asset classes and 40% should be invested in fixed income, which implies that every year you continue to rebalance it. There are 7 types of income. We have end income, profit, interest, rental income, capital, dividend, royalties. We're not going to cover this, right? But remember, we spoke about active income, which is your end income, and then passive income. And the financially intelligent families and individuals convert every month a part of their active income into passive income. Whatever you want to invest in, we want to know what is your investment objective? Why are you investing? That is what that is about. We want to know your risk tolerance level. How much risk can you take? Just like we all have different pain threshold, we have different risk tolerance as far as investment is concerned. We want to know what is the time horizon? How long are you investing your funds for? There are 2 types of funds. Patience capital, which is money that you don't need for over 2-3 years thereabout, and partial capital, money that you need in less than 12 months. So there's a way you will match these funds to make sure that you are not stuck financially when you need to use your funds. Your age and your stage of life is what we also try to know in making a decision on what you should be investing in. When we know these 4 things, like a doctor would need to know your symptoms to be able to make prescriptions, these are the things we want to know as a financial advisor or a personal finance coach before we recommend portfolios for yourself. On a final note, this is where I end with 4 quotes from the famous Warren Buffett. It says on earnings, never depend on a single source of income. Make investment to create a second source, which talks about the need to have passive sources of income. On spending, it says if you buy what you don't need, soon you will need to sell what you need. Talking about identifying the difference between your needs and your wants. On savings, it says do not save what is left after spending. Spend what is left after saving. And that takes us to the last one that talks about diversification. It says, never test the depth of a river with both feet. Do not put all your eggs in one basket. And on a final note, I'll just go back to the definition, which we mentioned earlier on our theme. It says that financial freedom is a state where you have sufficient wealth and resources, that is savings and investments, to cover your living expenses, that is your needs, and lifestyle choices, that is your wants, without having to rely on a traditional paycheck or active employment. Thank you once again for having me, parents supporting parents in the United Kingdom. I hope this has been value for your time. I hope you picked 1 or 2 things. If you did, let's see what you did make of this in the comment section. Thank you once again for having me.
Oh my God, this is loaded. Please put in the comment section, if you really enjoyed this session. Wow, Lola, what about you? What do you think about this session?
In fact, it's been basketball since beginning.
I've been stuck to
Coach
my
really
seat.
came big for us today.
I think we will need to have a remix or a rematch or another session. We need to have another session at that time. Guys,
I
this
agree.
is amazing. Coach, you can see, you said this has been a valuable session. If you have any question, please feel free to drop. Coach has just few minutes to take our questions. And yeah, thank you. So please love up on that. Tell her how much you appreciate that, because and
Thank
just
you.
to mention, see, this is just the tip of the iceberg, right? If you are on the Millionaire Challenge, you need to come and learn. You need to come and learn. The link to the Millionaire Challenge has been posted on the group. The flyer has been posted. Please. Coach said that if you are not serious with your money, you cannot make serious money. And you don't make money by mistake. There's no accidental money anyway. You have to be intentional. And Millionaire Challenge is where we are intentional about our finances. So guys, get on board. Thank you, coach. Please, if you have questions, let me know. Lola, let me know if you picked any question in the comments. Oh, okay, we have one. Lola, do you want to read that?
I didn't know which question is that.
I've just posted. I've highlighted it on the screen.
Okay, so the question is, can your emergency fund be invested in fixed income and other types of investments or live in cash?
Awesome. So your emergency fund, which represents 3 to 6 months of your living expenses, that's actually the definition, which implies that if anything happens to yourselves, at least for 3 to 6 months, you should be able to live your life, be able to meet your needs, your wants, your needs, not wants now, your needs, priority bills. And there's a type of psychological state that puts you to say, these things are taken care of. I can now look for another job. You're in a state where you know that you're not under pressure with fixing your family or your priority bills. Now, those kind of funds can be between cash and cash equivalents. They need to be liquid. Now, when we talk about liquidity, it means that it must be in an asset that you can easily convert to cash, close to cash as much as possible. An example will be fixed deposits that you can break. When you break those funds, most of the time they will have pre-liquidation charges, but it should be in things like money market mutual funds or fixed income, because liquidity is very critical where an emergency fund is concerned. So which is why I spoke about fund mismatch. Many a times we have patient capital, and we put in patient capital in fixed income, money that you don't need for a long time. That's funds mismatch. Now you also have a case where and those are the idle funds that irritate me, if you know what I mean, right? It's like having an orange, splitting it into two. You give one to Mr. A and one to Mr. B. Mr. A sucks the juice, trashes it as per I dey live for Obodo Ibo, and Mr. B sucks the juice, turns the orange inside out, eats off the rough edges. Of course, we know Mr. B has optimized resources from his investment. So for the question that says emergency fund, it should be in cash and cash equivalents. It can actually be in near cash investments such as fixed income assets or money market mutual funds. It should be invested in fixed income asset classes that you can break. Even if you put it in treasury bill, there are ways where you can have your treasury bill broken or sold. If you buy in prime market, you can sell in secondary. If you buy in secondary market, you can also sell in secondary market. So the answer is emergency funds should be in fixed income asset classes, but it should also be in those asset classes that you would be able to break the investment, say within 24 to maximum 48 hours, so that you have your funds when an emergency comes calling. I hope that answers your question.
I think it does. Any more question? You want to join the Millionaire Challenge? Okay, if you are a member of the PSP, the information has been dropped on the group. And except you are not a member, and whoever has sent you the link should be able to provide you the information about the Millionaire Challenge. Coach, can you read the comments? Thank you so much for your time in delivering this great lecture. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you
very
so
much for
much.
having me as well.
So Mr. Shego has said it
Yeah.
does perfectly. Any other question? Are we saying we understood everything she said? Are you setting a goal for your finances this year? By the end of this year, you should look back at your finances and say, thank God I made that worthy investment of listening to this webinar. Thank you so much, everyone. Lola, any final comments before we call it a day? Because I need to let Coach leave now. Any final comments from you?
Oh, well, I don't think we have any question basically. Well, in terms of comments, it's basically for us to to go and do the work, So it's not just to listen to the session, it's for us to implement, right? All the things we've taken from today's session.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me once again. It was nice being
Yeah.
here.
Thank
Looking
you,
forward to
Coach.
hearing amazing things that you're doing with your funds this year.
Yes, that's in December. No, that one really stood out for me. I mean, it just gives you that open-mindedness, like, there are just so many great things to achieve this year. All right, so before we go, Coach, one more question. Are you able to take this question before we round up?
This is a personal question. What is the best share and stock to invest in? There's what we call
please come and join the challenge. Come and join.
Coach,
let them come and do our Millionaire Challenge.
So just to even say that the decision on when to buy stock and shares, like I said, that you must take advantage of an investment opportunity within the lifetime of that opportunity. There's what we call January effect in investing, and that's a point where shares and stock prices are high because most companies will now begin to declare profits, which is what we call dividends, that for the full year 2024. So people take advantage. Most people get bonuses in December, they invest it in January. So prices are high at the moment, and so usually what we do is when there are opportunities that we see, we put it out on the platform there. I think prices are high at the moment. Like I said, you had MTMO from 200 to 240 something in a week. Stock prices, some of them are already dipping. I think I'll wait for them to dip further. There's something we also say, sell in May and go away. By May, most portfolio managers are beginning to wind off in developed economies, and they are beginning to go in for summer. So we say sell in May and go away, which implies that prices will now begin to dip because foreign portfolio investors are also on break and all the like from the month of May. So it's actually a function of watching the market. There's a lot of research that goes into it. But what I can say is if you're in the United Kingdom, you can open a cash and stock and share ISA. That works for you perfectly because in a place like economies like Nigeria, we call emerging economies, right? Or frontier economies rather. There are limited number of stocks. So you can find time to research on one and decide whether it's a good time to buy, sell or not. But in economies where you have thousands of stocks and shares, it's better you do something like a mutual fund. So you can invest through Bamboo on in S&P 500, which tracks the 500 biggest companies or most capitalized companies on the US Stock Exchange. So you can do S&P 500, you can do Vanguard funds, right? Those are things you can do. You can do money markets, equity mutual funds, and you can do ISA if you are here, individual savings account, which is stock and share. There's a cash one, but you can do stock and share ISA.
All right, thank you. And the last, can you take just one? Last one. Thank you.
I can actually take questions. My session starts in 30 minutes. So
in 30 minutes. Oh, okay, fine. Then let's continue.
13.
Okay. Okay. So I heard when she was giving her lectures that mortgages are cost a lot. Does it mean we should save to buy our houses outrightly?
So if you can save to buy, and we had a classic example where people save to buy, even in the United Kingdom. I've taken 2 mortgages, and in 3 years we pay down. In 5 years we pay down, right? Because we are not just going to be making minimum payments alone. The way credit works. Remember that I said that I was going to speak about responsible use of credit. Many times when we take things like mortgage or you have a credit card, when you make minimum payments, you will pay a lot more in interest than the capital itself. So at the end of the day, you end up paying a whole lot more, right? For any credit. The truth is that credit organizations are not your grandfathers now. Is it your child trust? They are not, right? They're not child trust. They are there to make money. They are businesses of financial intermediation. So they are taking from you, people who have excess, and giving to yourself and making a spread or a margin on it. So they are out for business as well. And so even 0% credit and all the like, they want you to get stock because they know what they are up to. And the more you get all of those credits, the more difficult at times it is, because you've taken a whole lot to become stock, and they begin to make their spread in the interest payment. So yes, if you can buy outright, fine. If you can't buy outright, but you have seen a good opportunity, because there are times where opportunities come, instead of letting them slip by, you know that you can actually make extra payments that helps you complete the payment. I think it's a book, not I think, I know. It's one of the book we read in the third quarter of last year. It's called, and you can actually grab the book. There's a soft copy. It's called The Total Money Makeover by Dave Ramsey. That's an amazing book you want to read if you are serious about getting a mortgage, right? That's amazing. It breaks it down. Minimum is saying is plan maximum 15 years to pay down your mortgage using a fixed rate. I think in these climes, you only have 3. People say I talk fast, so maybe I need to slow down now. I guess I'm talking very fast because I'm trying to round off, right? So in these clients, I think you only have access to, is it 2 to 3 year or 5 year mortgage? Either of those two fixed rates. Either you're going for 2 or 3 years or 5 year fixed rate for mortgage here. So it therefore implies that you have to so what we recommend, and what that book recommends also, is that Dave Ramsey recommends for mortgage, get fixed rate, so that also helps your outflows. You know, for certain how much you're going to be paying for your mortgages. That helps your financial planning. Plan to pay back down maximum 15 years rather than 13 years. If you can do earlier than that, we've done 3 years, we've done 5 years, and I believe it's achievable. We were speaking about this on the platform last year. I think TK, I don't know whether Fenty, Mrs. D, and the likes can also attest to the fact that someone said, you know what, we bought it, right? Some people don't buy outright, but some people get it. They take the mortgage, but they plan to pay down in 5 years, 3 years, 15 years, 10 years, meaning that you pay less interest than you'd have paid waiting the entire haul. Hope that helped you or responded to your question appropriately.
Let's keep the questions coming. I don't know if Coach still has a few minutes more.
Yeah, I have like 9 minutes.
I think you're muted. So do we have more questions?
Thank you, PP. So if you want to know more about the Millionaire Challenge and you're not on the PSP group, you can send an email to this email address. You'll definitely get more information about it, right? If you send an email, and if you're on the PSP group, check on the group. Every information you need has been posted. And if you have further questions that you can't ask on the call, please do well to send to moneymatterswithpresh@gmail.com. PP, thank you so much once again for your time. We see in the inner. We see in the Millionaire Challenge. Thank you everyone for joining. Enjoy the rest of your day and have an amazing weekend. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, comment. Oh, sorry, she has left the streams. Don't worry. You can send an email to Money Matters with Presh if you have more information. And don't forget, we have more programs coming up. Next week, Saturday, we have another event. Oh, my slide is hanging. So next week, Saturday, we have strategies to enhance your productivity in 2025. These are sessions you don't want to miss. And 2 weeks after that, if you want to learn how to transition to tech in 2025, then you need to come and learn that. Thank you, everyone. Have an amazing Saturday and enjoy your weekend. All the best. See you next week, Saturday. Bye, everyone.